Hi everybody, I'm back again. I don't look as done up and everything, and you probably won't see me looking done up most of the time. But I kind of wanted to come back on here and kind of talk to you guys about when you're feeling burnt out. As you can see from the title, um, I just wanted to come on here and talk about what are some tips and some ideas of things that you can do when you're feeling burnt out. At some point in the building of our business with my husband, at times I felt really burnt out, and we were working 6 or 7 days in a week. And if you're an entrepreneur, you understand that sometimes you work harder as an entrepreneur than you would do in a traditional job. And so I felt like crazy, and I was cranky, and I was really tired and snappy with my kids at times, and I just wasn't myself, and I just felt crazy. I couldn't think clearly, I couldn't focus, and I knew that something needed to change, and I needed to do something differently. Um, I began to get sick like every week. I noticed that I was getting sick more frequently, and obviously that meant that my immune system was impaired, and it wasn't working at its best level. So I just want to share with you guys some things that I did, some tips that I have for when you're feeling burnt out like that as an entrepreneur or as a leader. Maybe you're a manager, or in other some other high capacity level work that you're doing, and you just feel burnt out and you need to recharge and refresh yourself. The first tip would be to take a few minutes to the first tip is to look at your nutrition. What are you eating? Um, Truth be told, I have a degree in health promotion, and you would think I would eat pretty healthy, but I don't. And at one point, my husband and I completely cut out beef, and we were just eating chicken and turkey. And then next thing you know, I had a burger, which I don't really eat a lot, but for some reason, I was really like addicted to these beef burgers at one point. And so I just was eating out a lot because we were working a lot. And so, again, that's something as a high level executive or leader, you may find yourself working a lot. So you're eating out and you're doing takeout very frequently, and it's just not good for your body. So I noticed that with me eating so much beef and heavy food, it just really brought my energy levels down and my body down. I fasted at one point just to get some clarity in my head. And when I realized with me doing a vegan diet, I had so much more energy and my stress levels were down, even though my work, uh, my work did not change, and the amount of work didn't change. But the fact that I was taking that time to fuel my body and put good things into my body, it made a huge difference in my energy levels and also in my mindset with feeling burnt out. So the first tip would be to look at your nutrition and see how you can change it. Add more fruits and vegetables, obviously. Drink a lot of water. Start adding more water. If you can, cut out as much caffeine. I know for me, at one point, I started drinking like 4 or 5 cups of coffee, and then that wasn't enough. So then I started drinking pre-workout every night, and it was a very unhealthy cycle, and it was mainly for me to keep up with the workload and to be productive at what I do. However, you also have to be cognizant of your body and taking care of yourself. So that would be the first tip, to look at your nutrition and see how you can put better nutrients in your body. Now, the second tip, it kind of goes along with that, and that would be to start to take, if you're not already, taking vitamins every day. a multivitamin. For me, this may seem really weird, but I bought a big box of the emergency packets, and I made sure that before I started work, I would drink a cup of that every day, because it gave me the nutrients that I needed, and I felt like it gave me a little bit more fuel so that I can perform at a better level. The third tip would be to try to be more active. So for me, I don't, whatever it takes to kind of clear your mind, whether it's reading a book, listening to some music. For me, when I go out and I'm walking in nature and I just get that quiet time to just think to myself, that fuels me and it recharges me. So we always tell ourselves we don't have enough time. But really, we all have 24 hours in a day. And no matter how hard you're working, most likely you have about 10 or 15 minutes in a day to put into yourself to do something active to recharge yourself. And it will make a whole huge wide of a difference on your perspective on life, your stress levels, and avoiding that burnout no matter how much you're working, so that you can have clarity and focus.